Welcome to episode 25 of A Message From. We're your hosts. I'm Alyson.
I'm Edward.
And we have a special guest today. Who are you, special guest?
Hi there. My name is Jackie. I am Allison's older sister by 3 years. And Ed's friend.
She's proud to be older.
Welcome, Jackie.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
This is my first podcast.
It feels like it's our first podcast, too, so don't worry.
Every week.
Every week.
Your first in-person participation of podcast, because you did send in a message way back at the beginning.
Right, yeah.
But I don't feel like this seems like your guys' first one, because when I listen to them, they're very organized.
Oh, good.
That would be the post-editing.
Oh, yeah. So all thanks to Edward.
Yeah. So you just moved back to Michigan, right?
Yeah. This is my, 6th day here?
That is crazy. Because when Alyson texted me randomly, update about her life, what she was doing or whatever, and she was like, oh, yeah, and so, my sister's back. And I was like, what is Jackie doing back? And then she's like, no, she moved back. And I was like, oh, what is Jackie truly doing back?
Yeah, well, right now I'm just kind of sitting in this apartment watching it rain. We've had more rain here since I moved back than the whole time I lived in LA.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess that does make sense. Doesn't really rain too often there, does it?
Yeah. But yeah, so we decided so my fiance got a job offer here. We weren't really looking to move. We were going to stay in California, come back for the wedding, which is in October, and then just kind of figure things out from there. We were both working there. But he received a call from the Tigers, and they said, hey, this would be home for you. We have this position open. Are you interested in it? And the more he started to pursue it, it was a great opportunity. So we decided to make the trip back. And it's kind of crazy because it's the first thing that I've done super unplanned, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's got to be nerve-wracking. Are you a big planner?
Yeah. I mean, in my head, Allie knows I'm not very organized when it comes to sticking to a plan and a timeline. But in my mind, I like to know what's next in the back of my head.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whereas we all know, I just show up places.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have a plan.
What about you? Do you plan a lot?
Oh, big planner, mama. Big planner. I'll show, no one can see this, but this is my beautiful little planner. I mean, nothing's happening because it's summertime, so there's not much added to it.
That's very organized.
She's always open and on my desk.
The squares have a very intricate
system.
Filling pattern.
They do. It's a little unhealthy, but it works. I had a question, though, because I don't know sports very well. What are the Tigers?
Oh, they're a baseball team.
Oh, okay. I was like, I have no idea what sport that is.
I mean, here's the thing. Most of the Detroit sports, they're not really worth knowing a lot about.
Oh, yeah. I guess that...
They're just really, I mean, that's the great thing about working in sports. So, when you work in sports, you actually want to work for a team that is not super good on the field or on the court because they need you more, So, if you work for, the New England Patriots or the Golden State Warriors, those teams kind of sell themselves. So, your job security is actually a lot less. And just your opportunity to make an impact is a lot less. So teams like the Tigers, I don't know how many seats they have, probably around I don't know, somewhere between 35 and 50,000 probably. But right now they're averaging like maybe 13 to 17,000 people per game. So there's a huge opportunity to make an impact there.
Oh my
You
God.
are shocked.
I am. I have no idea about this at all, but it does make sense. And when you explain it, it's like you don't need like exactly the Patriots don't need people to sell their seeds.
Yeah. So I would imagine probably the same for like soccer overseas, super hot ticket.
Yeah, true. I don't think
Those Real Madrid tickets sell themselves. I do have to say, for everyone hearing all the snorts and squeaks in the background, we also have another special guest today. His name's Oliver, and he's a dog. And
I didn't realize Oliver, of course. Oh my, I was like, what are you talking about?
He's making lots of noise in the background.
Oh, that's fine. He's a welcome added guest.
Yes.
We love.
Welcome added guest. Yeah, so I guess we don't really ever think about like the inner workings of the sports industry.
No.
Like,
I mean, it's fascinating because also it seems kind of like a bit of a difficult industry to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just making that up in my head because I don't know anything about sports.
No, it is. I think most sports teams' front offices are like 150 to 200 people. So when you think about positions, so for example, the position that he took here in Michigan, there's only 4 of them in the entire state. One with the Tigers, one with the Lions, one with the Red Wings, and one with the Pistons. So with us both being in the sports industry, unless we want to move around to a million different states, it's, unique.
Wowie.
Yeah.
Wowie.
Yeah, it's hard to get in. And the one thing, though, I'm going off on a tangent. I knew I would.
No, it's fine. We know the familial relations.
The sports companies are structured just like any other organization. So literally, you have HR, you have sales, you have marketing, you have community relations. So it's a true business in that sense. Mm-hmm. It's just that unless you're in sales where you need a lot of people, especially if you're like a distressed team, you need a big sales team, obviously, and a big outbound effort. Mm-hmm. But unless you're in sales, there's a few HR positions, a few accounting positions, because you just don't need that much. I mean, you're managing 15 players or a little more if you're in football, and then 150 people or so.
Wow. This is so fascinating. I could listen to you talk about sports forever.
What else do you want to know?
Which is so funny because you're like not super into sports.
No, but the sports that I'm into, if I am into one, are not like the major American sports,
Right.
That's just my own problem. But we did get kind of ahead of ourselves. I forgot to ask you the question we ask everyone. So we're going to take a break and come back to sports. But the question is, if we could go to lunch right now, you, me, and Miss Alyson, where would you take us to?
Ooh.
Anywhere. Like, there's no bounds to this question.
Anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
In the whole world?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, there was this one place in France that we went, and I can't remember what the name of it was, but they had that pizza, the onion pizza.
Oh, it was no, so it's good. Not what you're thinking. It's not Jesus. It's called La Pizza Cresci. It was on Massena. So like right off the main square. You know how like Massena shoots off and it's like a busy street still.
Yeah.
It was on there.
Oh, so this is back in Nice. I was gonna say.
Yeah,
so
I think it'd be that. Or
that it wasn't Jersey.
There were a lot of good restaurants in LA. That's honestly what I'll miss most. Is just every city is unique there. Mm-hmm. Like one city is a beach, one city is a downtown, one city is hiking in mountains. So there were some really good spots there too.
Everyone does. Every time I see like a friend in LA or somewhere in California, and it just seems like they're traveling into a bunch of different places that are like obviously away from California, but it's just the same state. It's just like a 180 travel destinations. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Unique. Wowie.
So that's my answer.
Love. I mean, I love onion pizza. We've talked about this before on the pod. We do not have to get into that anymore.
The thing is I don't really even like onions, but that pizza was really good.
Right? And also,
It's so
the
good.
thought of an onion pizza, you're like, it seems like it's missing something. But it never is.
No.
Divine.
I could have gotten that 13 times on that vacation.
I think we went there twice.
I would do the same. When I went back to Nice, I went to Jeju literally 6 times in a row. Even though I could have gone somewhere else and had different food, but why would I want to do that? You know?
Yeah, why would you do that when you could have the same onion pizza every day? And it's good every time. It's good every time.
Never been disappointed. Never by an onion pizza. So
Never.
it's a win in my book. Back to sports, though. Let's go back to sports because I'm interested.
Did you ever think you would say that?
No, I never did. So which teams have you worked for, if you're comfortable with that?
Yeah, so I worked for the Pistons. I started there when I graduated college, 2011. And then I was there until 2020. I was there for a long time.
Wow.
Which is not typical. Most people move around within that time. So I got really lucky. But then I went to the Chargers after that.
Oh, wild.
Yeah.
Interesting. And you've done the
NBA's
same thing for them?
Yeah. Yeah, so when I started with Pistons, I started in sales. The weird thing about all this is, like, you'd think my sister would be the one working in sports.
Truly,
but she's way more, one more athletic, one more into sports. So that's kind of a side note. But anyway, so I graduated with my master's in psychology, and I thought I was going to do, like, some sort of business consulting, work with training departments and coaching. And I kind of quickly realized, like, no one's hiring a 24-year-old with no experience to come, run their company's training program.
Yeah.
So I was applying for all these positions, these, like, associate consultant positions. And I'm like, I don't want to be associate. I spent all this money on a master's degree. I'm better than this. I can't believe this is all I can get. And then I went to this job fair and the Pistons were there. And so I was so excited. I'm like, hey, I have a master's degree. I can work in HR. Like, let me help your company. And they were like, we're hiring in sales. And I was like, okay. And they're like, you should at least just come in for an interview. Like, come on in, see what you think, have a conversation. So I'm like, all right, what do I have to lose? So
Truly.
I went in and it was cool. I was like, wow, these people, it was like buzzing, a sales floor. People were happy. There was sports memorabilia everywhere. I actually really liked the Pistons. I was really into the 2004 championship team. So I was like, wow, this place has a legacy. This feels cool. And the more I went through the interview process, I thought it could be a good fit. So the hilarious thing is I took a job in outside sales is what it was called at the time, which was an entry-level position. My base salary was $17,000. And here I am being like, oh, I'm not taking an associate consultant position for $50K.
Played yourself.
So, yeah. So that's the thing about sports is so many people want to be in it. It's super competitive and you start out low, you live off of commission basically. And then when you kind of have success is when you start to work your way up. But it's a grind.
I could never.
Yeah, no. No, I could not.
Yeah, it's a grind.
I don't want to sell. I don't want to grind. I don't want to sell anyone anything. I want to be like, listen, take it or leave it. Another hot take is master's degrees are a ripoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
we all have master's degrees.
Yeah. Mine's like a master's degrees in big quotation marks.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my master's degree gave me some skills. I think I don't want to say smarter, that's kind of a mean thing to say, but I feel like I was more professionally developed than a lot of the people I started out working with. So I do feel like my master's gave me that, but in sales, you can literally have a high school diploma.
Yeah, certain master's degrees, it's just sort of like, I feel like it's just for networking and basically just instead of studying in your free time, just study all the time. I don't know. It's just yeah.
Unless it's like specialized, I see what you're saying.
True. Yeah. Exactly.
Maybe I'd feel different if I was actually working in the field that I have my master's degree in, but I'm not. So
I mean, I am, and I don't use that thing. Not one day. Not one day. Well, I guess a little bit, but not too much. Let's take a break and come back.
Okay, sounds good.
Surprise! Usually this break means nothing, but not today. If you're looking for a new podcast about anime, video games, and movies, look no further. Check out Randall and LJ's podcast, 2 for 1 Special. Comes out every Friday wherever you listen to podcasts. That's 2 for 1 Special, every Friday wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, back to the show.
All right, we're back. Welcome back. We hope you all enjoyed the break. Before the break, we were talking about how in the sports industry, you really have to like grind and work hard and put in the extra time to kind of get yourself established. And we all know that I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
I have to say, probably the best time in my life were all the times I was unemployed. Like, I mean, think about it.
How often has that been?
It sounds like a lot.
It does.
Well, think about it. Like the 1 month in France where we were unemployed, technically we stopped working like the second week of April or something. And then we just spent the next month living our best lives.
That was divine. Yes, that was divine.
There was one summer a couple years ago where I was unexpectedly unemployed. It was the best summer. I had so much fun.
Yeah, true.
I went to the library like every day. I laid out by the pool. I just had a great time.
And now you don't get that anymore.
No. But she does. She's unemployed.
Yeah. So that's
so
what
what's
I
going on
was
with that?
originally like excited to talk about. So when we made this move here, I had to go back and forth on whether or not I was going to stay in California, keep my job, you know, maybe apply for things here, see how it goes, move back whenever. But I was kind of like, doesn't really make sense for us to live across the country from each other. Not in the fact that, like, we can't live without each other, but more so, like, what's the point of keeping our family separated? Who keeps the dog? How hard will it be for one of us to take care of the dog on our own? Either me in LA traffic or him starting a new job.
Oh,
doesn't make sense to pay $4,000 a month to rent an apartment in LA by myself.
$4,000.
Yeah, it's no joke. It's really no joke there. I mean, you literally work to survive there.
That is
crazy.
wild.
It's insane.
Wow.
I mean, we probably could have found a place for like $3,000, but it probably wouldn't have had air conditioning or something.
Still, at that point, just pay $4,000. If you're gonna pay $3,000, you might as well just pay $4,000. Damn.
So, yeah,
Okay.
So we decided, like, let's just get back here, and I'm gonna be unemployed, and we're gonna figure it out. And every day was an emotional roller coaster, because one day I'm like, oh my God, no one's ever gonna hire me. How am I gonna get a job? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna have money? Can I apply for unemployment? And then the next day I'd wake up and be like, oh my God, it's gonna be so great that I can just go for a walk whenever I want, or work on wedding stuff, or like sleep in.
Right. Yeah, that's true. It is always quite the roller coaster. It's like very day by day.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? The more people I kind of opened up to about it, the more people were like, oh, I've gone through that before, and that was the best time of my life. Kind of like Allie was saying. And I trusted her, but I'm like, okay, you know, she's my sister. She's just going to like try to reassure me. But literally so many people have been like, the most I found out about myself was when I didn't have a job. And I'm like, that's actually a really good point.
That does make a lot of sense. I feel like a lot more people go through this than they would like to like lead on, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't talk about it because unemployment is such like a shameful thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it's really not.
No,
Yeah.
no. I was
It's lovely.
fun-employed. I was fun-employed last summer, technically. It was great.
Yeah.
My whole thing is like, if I didn't have a wedding coming up, I would be totally fine with it. But
right. That's an
That's
expensive endeavor.
Yeah, that complicates things.
Are you excited for the wedding?
yeah, I'm getting excited. I mean, it's only like 100 and something days away.
Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't realize it was
10
that soon.
It's coming up quick.
Coming fast.
Yeah.
You're
so
invited. Are you coming?
What it's in
Live
wait,
on
hold
the air. Pressure.
It's- Oh no, it just says Allison's sister's wedding. It doesn't have the date. When is it again?
October
In the fall?
29th.
Okay, very specific. I can beep that out if need be. That's a good question that I don't have an answer to at the moment.
I'm putting you on the spot. I know that you have influx things happening.
Yes, my life is in flux. Is a great way to put it.
I asked her if she wanted me to send you an invitation. She was like, no, just tell him.
Yeah, sorry. I denied you the luxury of an invitation.
It saves on postage. It's expensive. I understand. It was a smart financial choice. So what's left on the to-do list for the wedding?
Well, the biggest things are just finalizing. Well, I need a rehearsal dinner location. I don't know why I put that off. I didn't mean to. It was just kind of one of those things where like I was having a hard time finding a place because I was reaching out to people during COVID and either they weren't responding or they're like, we're not hosting large events right now. And I'm like, right, I know you're not hosting them now, but like, do you anticipate hosting them in October? So anyway, I got it narrowed down to 2 places and I'm not in love with either one, but I just need to pick a place. And that's my biggest thing is decision making. Like I just need to choose a location and move forward with my life and get the invitations out.
Yeah, I didn't realize that would be a different place than where the actual rehearsal is.
Well, yeah,
I just had no idea.
So the rehearsal's at the church. And that's a good point, too, because everyone doesn't get married at a church. So,
yeah, also, yeah.
you know, some people get married at their venue, so you could just have the dinner thereafter.
I'm learning so many things today. I mean, I'm not really into sports. I've never actually been to a legitimate wedding. So this is a lot for me.
Wow.
I know. This is educational.
I think legitimate weddings have their pros and cons, too. I mean, obviously, like, we chose a traditional one for certain reasons. My fiance's family is Catholic. They're very religious. So that was important to them to be married in the Catholic Church. But there's like sacrifices you make. I mean, you only can have certain times because they have mass. Mm-hmm. You can only do certain things. You know, you can't, for example, you can't write your vows in a Catholic church. So if you're like somebody who has really sentimental things, it's, you know, against the religion to write your own vows. You could not get married like on a beach if you're Catholic, if you're really actively practicing Catholicism, because they say the body of Christ is in the church. Right. So the body of Christ is not like in a park. So you can't get married there.
No, he's not. He's in a little tabernacle in the back of the church.
He's never on a walk.
Wow. I didn't know that you couldn't write your own vows in a Catholic church. I mean, it does make sense because it's very par for the course for Catholicism. But never thought that through.
So now you two have something in common. After all of like the sports and the wedding and stuff, you have something in common because now you're both members of a cult.
Oh, what cult are you a member of?
Oh my God.
Clearly, she's a little behind on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm behind.
Totally understandable. I was also behind, even though I edit them. Wait, I have to go
Same.
into the
Because again, I
Instagram
save
account
them
now.
up and then I never get to them. But anyways, go on.
No. I'm just trying to find the. Oh my god, where do you find that? The poll we did to see if the people thought that I was in a cult or not. Essentially,
yeah, I
I'm
do
an Eagle
remember that.
Scout. Yeah, I'm an Eagle
I
Scout.
remember that.
Eagle
It
Scouts
was-
of America.
50-50. So the word is still out on whether or not I was in a cult. So, haha.
Eagle
You
Scouts is a
know.
cult.
You know, it was only the
So-
fellow Eagle Scouts that said no.
No, it was me on my 3 different accounts that counteracted the other people. Yeah, I guess it technically is pretty culty-ish,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Scouts, yeah.
Unfortunately. But I don't actively do anything with them. I just put it on my resume. So,
And so fellow cult members can see that and support you in your endeavors.
honestly, technically, yes. Exactly. Exactly. Choose me, who is only the same amount as qualified as another person, but just choose me because I'm an Eagle Scout.
Exactly. Whatever works for you.
And
I'm
I can
trying
put
to
a
think of mine.
Band-Aid on your boo-boo.
I was just trying to think if I'm in a cult.
You did do boxing for a while.
I mean,
That felt
I guess
cultish.
that was kind of cultish. Like,
Didn't you wake up at like
all my
6 a.m. to
friends
go
are
boxing?
From there, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I get up at like 10 to 5 in the morning for boxing.
That's
And all
actually
of us.
just called
Okay, so I will say,
insanity.
not boxing in general, but those of us who went to that 5:15 a.m. class, we were in a cult because then we judged everyone else, and like if you couldn't handle that class, we were like, "What are you doing here?"
Telltale signs
That's
of
a
a cult.
cult.
Yep. I don't even need to put that to an Instagram poll. Everyone knows
No,
that's a cult.
that's for sure. That's
Yeah.
exactly like Catholicism. It's like, oh, if you're not
So early.
even coming to church at 8 a.m., like, who are you?
When I was growing up, my mother would always take us to, I want to say it was like 6 p.m. Saturday Mass or something like that. Or 4 p.m. or something. It was great because not a lot of people,
Yeah.
super quick, and then we would get pizza after. So, and I watched.
Oh wow, that's nice.
That's worth it.
I know. I was
Our
like,
mom
this is
used
great.
to pack us freaking nasty snacks and Ziploc baggies to keep us quiet during church.
Well, we would also pick up our great grandma on the way
yeah.
to church.
Your
And
great
she would-
grandmother?
Yeah, she would give us little Ritz crackers and baggies as a snack.
Wait, I feel like I knew that story.
Maybe I told you that one of us would get cheese and the other would get peanut
You
butter.
did tell us. You did tell that on this.
Oh,
I
I
was gonna say, I
forget
feel like I've
what
heard
stories
that
I
on the
tell.
There's just so many. But wait, were they the Ritz crackers? No, I need to ask for clarification. With the ones that come in like the red package?
No, they were
super
minis.
tiny.
They were little
Yeah, the
babies.
minis with the gunk in
Yeah.
between, little Sammys.
With
Oh,
the
they
gunk
were
in between.
So good. So who would get cheese and
Right.
who would get peanut butter?
I think she got peanut butter, right? Did you usually
Yeah, I
get
think
peanut
I
butter?
got peanut butter.
I think I usually got the cheese and she got the peanut butter.
I always found the peanut butter ones to be like drier. Even though I loved them just as much as the cheese ones, but because they were like,
They were drier.
yeah, there was
Maybe
like
that's
more
why she
chew.
didn't like them as much.
Yeah.
I feel like I loved them.
I didn't really
Could
like
be.
the cheese.
Wait, we
I
had
only
talked about
had some
Funyuns
weird
recently.
snacks.
I don't know. What is Alyson has weird snacks?
When she was a kid, she did.
Let's
I
get into
always thought what
this.
she ate was weird.
All I drank was juice. It was literally the
Yeah.
only thing I drank was juice.
So
A
her
specific
morning
juice?
routine. Yeah, what was the juice? Apple juice?
No, I don't know when I was
Cranberry.
really young, but when V8 Splash came out,
Oh,
when
disgusting.
they came out with like the fruity flavors and stuff,
Uh-huh.
I would go through that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so she
what was
would
his
wake
morning
up in the
routine?
morning in her pajamas. They had like characters on them or princesses or something. Her
Love.
nightgown.
Same.
I wasn't the only one in character pajamas, but
Her
okay.
nightgown. And then she would go sit in front of the TV cross-legged, like right in front of the TV, like face to the screen practically. I don't even know how she could see what was happening.
Demonic.
And she would have a bowl of cereal, which would be like, I don't even know what, Lucky Charms or Fruit Loops or something.
We always had Lucky Charms, Apple Jacks,
Wow.
Fruit Loops, Honey Nut Cheerios.
Apple
Oh, yeah, she
Jacks.
loved Honey Nut Cheerios.
I still to this
Quite
day
good.
love Honey Nut Cheerios. I ate some yesterday.
A multigrain Cheerio, I'm very into. I was also into as a
Multigrain. I
child.
never had that.
Oh, define the illusion of health. I don't know if they're actually healthy.
Yeah, and her like thick vitamin D milk. That's what we all drink that from.
That was
that's
our
so
mother. That was our mother's doing, okay? I haven't drank vitamin D
I
whole
know.
milk in over a decade.
It's just disgusting to think about how different things were back then. They probably never even had skim milk or like almond milk or anything back then. But anyways, in addition to that bowl of shit, there was also a tall cup of juice, V8 Splash or whatever, and she would literally drink the juice and eat her cereal and milk.
Ew.
So disgusting.
Oh no. Oh, Alyson. No.
But it's weird because now she just eats really good and she would never think about doing that.
No, I could never see you doing that.
I don't ever own juice. I only drink water.
You don't have juice? Huh.
I've never
Well,
liked
you've had too much, I guess, in your life.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And cereal. Here's the thing. I generally don't allow myself to buy cereal because I know I'll eat the whole box in like 2 days.
Fair. Yeah.
So I'll buy cereal like once a year when I'm like, oh, I need a nice cereal treat.
If I could get my hands on a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that shit would be gone in 12 hours. Absolutely.
Okay, so funny you mentioned that because we were at our grandma's house the other day and she had this box on her counter and it was churro Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And the flavor was like the exact same flavor, but they were like churro shaped. So it was like a crispier texture.
Love that. They definitely don't have that here, unfortunately.
Which you would think in Spain, if anyone has churro cereal.
Well, remember the churros are different here than
Yes.
Mexico. Yeah, they're kind of boring. No offense to the 0 Spanish listeners.
I'm still going to eat one though.
Oh yeah, we're still gonna get them. Actually, I met a dude, like a friend, last weekend whose name I was like, "What's that guy's name again?" To like my friend who I'd met them through, and he was like, "Oh, his name is Ginés," and I was like, I looked at him and I was like the churro place, like San Ginés, because that's the famous like churro place everyone goes to here. He was like, "Yeah, exactly," and I was like, I have never met somebody in this peninsula whose name is Ginés.
Wait, so is he part of like the Ginés churro empire?
No, I think they're called San Ginés, like Churreria or whatever, because it's the same street as like probably like Calle San Ginés or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's such it's like if someone was named, I don't know, some old English name that no one would be called anymore.
I thought you were
Theodore.
about to tell us. That you were about to tell us that you like met the churro king of Madrid.
No, I don't meet people like that anymore. I don't think. I just meet like
Anymore.
That'd be exciting.
randos. It would be. But no, not the case. Beautiful name. Just had never heard it before in my life. Like, face to
cool.
facha to facha. Well, Jackie, our time is done. If you can believe it or not.
Oh no.
I know.
It goes quick.
Yeah,
It does
that
go
was
quick,
fast.
especially
It
when we're
flies
spilling
by.
the tea on Allison's disgusting eating habits. Which is my
She
favorite.
was not always this healthy.
No.
No, apparently
Honestly, how did I drink basically just like cups full of sugar all day, every day?
Yeah.
Oh, chocolate milk too. I could chug some chocolate milk.
not. Oh, okay. We've got to end.
We
this.
gotta go.
I'm gonna like vomit
Wrap it
while
up.
editing this. Once again, Jackie, thank you. I'm sure you'll get a
Thanks for
postcard.
having me.
Your second
Yeah.
postcard.
Yay.
Do you have any other postcard update? Probably not. Nor. Give me a yes of a nod, a no of a shake of the head. It's a no. And you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank you very much. Call us at 202-630-4509 if you're in the United States, or if you hate the sound of your voice in the US, or if you live abroad. You can send us a message at amessagefrompod@gmail.com. Find us at amfpod.com for extra bonus content, and a message from on Instagram. Bada bing, bada boom. Done.
Wow. That's a lot.
It is.
But do it all.
Do it all. Alrighty. Well, until next time.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.